And I'm here in Hollywood, and Diddy's parties were notorious and one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood. If I were one of those rich and famous celebrities and I participated in these sex acts, I would be very concerned. I would be talking to a lawyer. At best, I'm a witness. At worst, I'm a co-defendant. And I thought that the feds were actually thinking about potentially charging others, and that's why it took 6 months to arrest and indict Diddy. But it turns out that wasn't the case. But if you believe U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, and I do, in the reports, there are at least 50 witnesses that the feds have spoken to, and I bet that some of those were participants in the sex act.
Now, he said that a lot of people are looking forward to the rich also having to face some retaliation rather than going scot-free like they did during the Jeffrey Epstein case.
I think they are, and I think they should. Obviously, very different case, but one of the criticisms of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation is that the rich and famous people that participated in the sex acts were never brought to justice. And even Epstein himself got a sweetheart deal, probably because he was very rich and well-connected. So, if there are other celebrities, they shouldn't get a free pass merely because of their wealth or their fame. And, I think that the U.S. Attorney's Office going after Diddy, obviously he's going to be their main target. But if there's other people that were participants, they too should be prosecuted.
When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment.
Singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
The question now, could past attendees like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Osbourne, Justin Bieber, and Usher be potentially questioned by federal investigators?
Were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on.
Diddy's reign is obviously over, but there's another billionaire that might go down with him. And it's not Jay-Z, but Oprah. There have been rumors for years about how Oprah is not what she seems, and that there's something sinister behind that loving mask. And this watershed moment might just be her end as well. First, let's take a look at why people think Oprah's not all she seems chalked up to be. For one, even apart from any major accusations, she's been alleged to be a bully who isn't quite as nice as she tries to seem. For one, people were angry at her after an interview with the Olsen twins resurfaced, where she was seen acting very invasive and unsympathetic, especially considering they were just teenagers.
Yeah, people are going to write what they want to write. We try not to read the good or the bad because it just kind of comes with the territory. Either you're too fat, you're too skinny, and people are just going to write what they
What size are you, by the way?
Size?
Yeah,
I'm really short.
You're not sure?
Girls, and
that's so interesting. That is so interesting. I'm like obsessed with size, and you're like, I really don't know.
Mary-Kate did eventually seek treatment for an eating disorder later that year. And we've progressed, and we've seen just the look on her face, how horrified Mary-Kate and her sister Ashley were when they were asked that question, and then for Oprah to laugh about it. It comes off tone deaf now.
There was also Monique, the actress who has accused Tyler Perry and Oprah of blackballing her from the industry. Her claims have been proven true, especially as Perry straight up admitted to having a hand in making sure she didn't get hired. Monique even said Oprah started stealing roles that were offered to her first. But her real problem was when Oprah invited her family on her show without consultation. And then comes the most problematic thing of all, and the part that actually may tie her to Diddy is her connection to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
While she was quick to give an Oscars speech and speak up about women facing sexual assault, people pointed out that she had been a frequent collaborator of Weinstein for years and never spoke up. It's hard to believe she never saw anything about him, simply calling it a watershed moment and talking about it from a wider perspective rather than specifically calling him out.
And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
She talked about how they shouldn't make the issue about Harvey Weinstein in particular, but look at the trouble women face as a whole, rather than holding her friend accountable. But what do you think? Was she right in how she handled the question, or should she have kept the focus on Weinstein?
You pretend it's okay, you pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. It absolutely, you're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know.
But I do think it's going to change.
Being a victim of that, when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah.
So,
You've been speaking about it for
years.
Yeah.
Following her Oscars speech, 2 people actually came out to say what everyone was thinking. Singer Seal pointed out that she had been part of the problem for decades and now wanted to act like a saint.
Me too.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims' assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme. Showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul, it reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Rose McGowan, an actress and one of the first people to speak up about Weinstein, also ripped into Oprah and called her out for abandoning victims of sexual abuse and called her as fake as they come.
So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men. Rose wrote, quote, "From being pals with Harvey Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as they come." And just to refresh your memory, music producer Russell Simmons has been accused by at least 15 women. Last year, Oprah pulled out of a documentary that's highlighting their stories because she and the filmmaker. As for her former friendship with Harvey Weinstein, Oprah had said that she did not know assault accusations from women, including Rose, only that she had heard he was a bully.
Now, to refresh your memory, Kevin Hart is an old friend of Diddy. He's also very close to both Oprah and Tyler Perry, even once saying that Oprah loves him more than anyone else in the world. People are also pointing out how suspicious it is that Kevin Hart closed restaurants days before Diddy's arrests. Oprah has managed to stay safe. But how long will this last? With Kevin Hart already thrown into the mix, will we soon see Oprah's reality being exposed once and for all? Let us know what you think in the comments.